Okay, all right, greetings. Okay, all right, it's the first, I guess now it's Thursday. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, actually. All right, the Priscilla's here, acting all crazy. Her craziness. So she needs attention. Yeah, for those of you that are going through a spiritual war zone that's out there, there's beings here that don't want you to survive this, obviously, because you're, stepping on their toenails. So, yeah, they're making things as difficult as possible. Yeah, trust me, I'm going through the same thing. Guys, they just don't know how to let up. They got nothing better to do. Obviously, they're just making things more difficult and more difficult. Just, you don't get the cake and ice cream life. You get we're just going to throw you under the bus life, apparently. Just the way it is. This isn't for everybody, that's for sure. So, this will be a Jupiter and Mars. I don't know, I follow Jupiter for some reason. I don't usually do Jupiter energies. She's having enough. Anyway, not sure what's going on here. Yeah, grow a tail. All right, we'll go into connection here. All right, this is Oceanic for our sessions. Watch it. And I also have the shop here. Okay, all right. So we're going to the Jupiter energies, basically just going to our, I don't know if I spelled that right. I'm assuming I spelled it right. Yeah. Just getting their perspective of what we're going through. And I know people want to know the winning lottery numbers or whatever it might be, or what the future holds and all that. And that's nice. You have to sell your soul. You have to sell your soul for any of that information. And there's plenty of them out there that are doing that. So just join their cults and they'll be right with you. So, I guess the grass is greener there for some forsaken reason. Yeah, just go be in a soul harvesting realm. What? She doesn't. She doesn't know if she's coming or going. Yeah, she's back. So, all right, so we're going to, it's funny how so many people believe that they're learning and they're actually being manipulated, which is part of this process. It's just part of the learning of it. They think they got spirituality all figured out. Well, you got to think again. It's not like mechanics. We can just, like you're working on a car or something like that. It's a lot more complicated than that. But there's, definitely many out there that feel like they know everything. And then you find out they're part of a cult. So it's like, okay, whatever you said. Have fun with that. It's too many layers for one person to know everything, that's for sure. I don't try to know everything. It's not, sometimes less is more, I guess, in some regards. Survival seems to be the thing. As they're trying to take you out. I think the survival is probably the biggest thing. It's just getting through the day without going crazy or not having too many psychotic episodes in one day. I think that's the thing. So when others get winnings and some of us just get slammed, the spirit realms here that just don't want you to get anywhere. So it's quite the sight, though. Anyway. All right, who knows? Maybe the things will turn around. So, I guess when you actually get somewhere, like you're going to hear a change of consciousness to derail the manipulation here, they're going to come after you big time. You got nothing better to do, right? Because the reality that they sold is not. It gets countered. It gets. You give it alternative to society to decide, different ways of, spirituality is like that, but you make it more mainstream. There's just a different way of looking at reality. Let's put it that way. Obviously, beings here just want you to see the one narrative, one system, 1950s mentality. I think we're at a 1970s mentality right now. Not everybody, but that's part of the brainwashing here. Looks like at 1970s, just chaos, just chaotic frequencies. I just want you to enjoy chaos, make chaos your everyday life, and so on. And yeah, it's working. Well, for some of us are just not kind of done with it all. Kind of done with all of it. Just don't care. But anyway, there's not enough people out there like that apparently, because the show keeps going on. Yeah, if no one's paying attention to all the manipulation, like you don't care about Biden or anything. I mean, a lot of people don't, but you really have to have a lot of people that just don't care about even the government itself. Just let it fall apart. Who cares? And let's see, there's another thing. The government, I guess what is it? The financial side, the borrowing, the deficit. I forgot what it says. It's pretty high. They always say it's high, but yeah, I don't know, 10 years maybe. So it's starting to become a problem. And not to say it's not a problem now, but there's too much shadow government here. I don't know. It's just the way it's seen. The U.S. will survive somehow. Let's just put it that way. Even if they'll survive through whatever it is. They just need another manipulation to throw at everybody. It's one thing or another, right? So, all right. The kitty cat has chilled out, found her spot. Fritzy is sleeping somewhere. Yeah, I noticed that Priscilla has been more active here. It's funny. So my co-pilot. So, all right, or my producer, whatever you want to call it. So, all right, going to Jupiter and Mars. Okay, blessings. Greens, consciousness of Jupiter. Your world, this is what we are connecting to you. We're actually very much connected to the oceans of your planet. The consciousness of basically the water energies, you can say technically keeps you going, of course, in your bodies also. It just has the energy flow from the astral. So think like the oceans is astral energies, but of course in the physical realms. The fish beings who do have consciousness, and they don't necessarily have to have the most complicated minds. Like they just live a simple life in the sea. But they are dealing with much. Almost you can think of like even the oceans, like they are, depending on the fish being or the ocean dweller, it's like as they swim, they kind of watch humanity. It's like there is a kind of like a television there. They can feel the frequencies of what humanity is going through. If they tune in, if they even want to know, others don't care, but others need to be involved with that to know what they're working with. As you are transfixing this planet, it's basically the ocean has a lot to do with the future. Basically, you can say there are portals, realms there where you can actually send, like there's no manipulation. Of course, finding those places is not easy. Of course, you can do it on ground also. Some of your desert areas have that. It's kind of like you connect to a portal where you can just see, not see it all, but you can see like beyond our this veil. Of course, it's not going to be easy. I mean, sometimes like fishermen, like way out in the sea, they get some sense of like even peace, where they don't know where it comes from. It doesn't mean they get like a huge download, but some might get some version of what's happening here, what the world is going to. Sometimes you just get a vision of how you just not worry. You just all of a sudden Yeah, it's like an inner knowing that just plugs into your system. It's just something to think about. Just not that, well, let's put it this way. If you connect to a portal like that, we can kind of just see reality, not worry about it. It's kind of like you're connected to the astral realms, but you are in a conscious state. You just kind of just know things will work itself out, and you just feel none of the clutter of this reality. You just find inner peace, and you don't always find that in your own life. It just, I don't know, just like you opened up a window or you walked into a different realm for a short time, just to give you a perspective of that. As to the world's just chaotic frequencies, well, the beings that here are causing trouble here. They see a humanity, not everybody, but a good portion of humanity just sitting around, just grabbing at every psychotic thought that's out there. And so what these beings do, like the reptilians, Archons, they just keep throwing it at you. They just throw, you want more chaos? Here's some more. And humanity just keeps on taking it. So not all of you do. Some of you are like, oh, here we go again. And the reason why you go through the challenges here, there's also some karmic connections that are very deep. Yes, some souls here have really kind of gave themselves away to this reality. Yes, you can call it the NPCs, but sometimes they get a glimpse of coming out of it. Like I think some of you know this. Like sometimes you might run into someone that can evolve, but then devolves. Look at it that way. So you run into somebody that here's a chance for you to change your life, and it's like, yeah, okay, and then never mind. So that's a hard one too, because it can almost take you down when they say no. Depending on the situation. Sometimes it's like you got hit by a brick or something like that. Almost like they want to take you back down to their realm, for that matter. Not that they could, but it doesn't mean they won't try. It's like it's grass is greener over here, even if you don't see it that way. Yeah, there's just so many layers to this reality. That doesn't mean you have to know it here in the physical, but the non-physical, yeah, even there it can give you a headache. It just basically, this world has grabbed onto every type of test it can get its hands on. And obviously, there's more. But the soul beings here that feel like they just live off of chaos. Now, this is just common people, those that just love that frequency. Doesn't mean they have, and yeah, they might have attachments, of course. But that's how it gives you energy to do it. Well, for them, that's entertainment. It gives them something to live for. They want to be here in the physical realm, and peacefulness doesn't work anymore. They need chaos. So you can go from a chaotic life to a peaceful life to a chaotic life to a peaceful life. And that's what many are going through right now. Like you can be extreme chaotic frequencies. And in the next life, they might find, wow, I'm just so peaceful, but so bored. Because they're so used to being in the chaotic realms, but a lot of them cut that frequency out of their field altogether. Because it's time to, take it easy. The world needs to take it easy. But if you allow all this chaotic energy to really get to its highest level, it's more power. This world probably will not survive it. It's diluted big time. It's mostly just words, conspiracy theories. It's just thoughts. It's just agendas. You're not seeing it here happen in the physical. So they can think all this chaotic stuff, and then it actually happens. This world might have to actually be larger to handle that. It might actually expand, become literally has to become a larger force to handle everyone's chaotic manifestations. Now, if you bring in a more positive manifestation, the chaotic energies can actually break through it. I mean, yes, it's good to have a positive manifestation, but because there's so much chaos, this is kind of like what happened to Mars. It just pushed itself to the end. And this world has more of a balance. So instead of creating the chaos, you can to a certain level, but mostly it's just thoughts. It's just mental jargon, mental, World War III. In their mind, you go through World War III, but you're not going through it physically. And you think about all these different wars some of people are so scared of and all that because they're creating all these things. So it's all thoughts for the most part. Yes, you have their espionage and here and that, of course, but either way, it's just thinking and not actually happening, and that's a good thing. And like I say, with Mars, they actually got to experience a lot of it, and that's why they're not here anymore. So it gives you a different perspective of how this world operates from that. Well, the chaotic energies, to heal that is just to be yourself, non-chaotic, and yes, focus on yourself. not worry about all the noise that's out there, because the noise just, they want to get a reaction out of you. If you have no reaction, what fun are you? And some of you are here to derail this reality. Well, bring in, yes, different perspectives where the agendas get diluted. They're not as strong as they used to be. Blessings. Greetings. The Martian frequencies. Mars is not always built on chaos. Some of you might think so, depending on what. There was a peaceful time in Martian existence, but you can say invention, creativity of just madness was more, challenging. Basically, Mars became a war planet. It wasn't always that way. Actually, it went for a long time without an identity. But that was fine. It was like a farmer's world, you can say. With advanced technologies, just didn't have all the chaotic frequency here. And like it wanted to find anger, it wanted to find another side of itself. And then it lost its mind. Now, not everybody was on that trip, but it's like drinking a bunch of tonic or things you shouldn't be drinking. It's like, can I turn myself into a madman? And sure enough, it worked. And then it just became more and more part of society, of just a rough world, like a wild west of alien beings. Basically, like your wild west is alien creatures with advanced technology. And not all of them are insane, but quite a few of them are. And just you have to be tough. You can still be feminine. The feminine energies are there. It's just you got to be kind of wise. But yeah, you can get eaten very easily. You can be taken down. And more of your masculine female came through that also. It was basically, just testing the testosterone of humanity and going too far with it and where it consumes itself. That's why you have so many females that can't stand humanity or human males. They do see males as idiots. Well, somebody's got to be stupid. But the Venus beings became very opinionated over Martian frequency. Of course, Mars was abusing Venus for a long time also. So obviously, there's going to be a love-hate relationship there. So it's like before Earth energy. It's just so male and female frequencies are at each other's throats, and they did combine. And that combination came to your world. So you have Mars and Venus together, which is very unusual. And Mars, you can say, could not handle that. So it imploded, you can say. That's more to it than that. Because the Martian energies actually calmed down connected to Venus. Not to say Venus is perfect. It's got its own issues. Yeah, it's judgmental. It's got one of those perfect, yada, yada, yada. Wear a tiara that's worth $500 or whatever it is, worth more than it needs to be. But then it became more luxuries and, merchandise and just things you don't need. And so that's the Venus, not just the Venus, there's other connections there, but, this material upscaleness. Mars is more like you just need wood or need, basic necessities, tools, things like that. It's like you need a dragster car or something like that. A very bizarre house to live in, and that was about it. But now luxury items are brought into your society. It did also split society. It would change your priorities. Instead of soul growth, now it's about how pretty you can look and how affectionate you can look and how mysterious and whatever it might be. So like I said, the materialism is not just about Venus, but it does play a big role in it. Mars has, like power tools. That's their materialism. So there's a lot of Martian energies in Russia. You can see some of the architecture there. Is very, you can say it's Tartarian, but there's also a a Martian frequency there. Russia has a great deal of the energy that has not been erased from the Earth. That's why some of you had incarnations here and there you might not remember. it just has it plays a part in basically the transformation of Earth, like during World War II and so on. It doesn't mean it's perfect; it's far from it. It still has a big ego. It's not quite to deflate anytime soon. But yeah, just two energies. Mars. You talk about what was it um, felines and the reptilians, but also you have Mars and Venus. Of course, you have the other planets too. Mars and Venus are at each other's throats because there are some Venus beings that just rather just a female Earth, and who needs the male? And some of you have been to those places as a male or as a female, but being there as a male, like you're only male there, and everybody wants you dead. Not everybody, but most. So yeah, but that would play in your head for a little bit. But yeah, that's why a lot of females don't like other females due to something like that. So hey, it was like, here's a couple of males here. Why we want to kill them all of a sudden? It's like, well, that's the Venus way, you can say. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of females don't like each other. There's other reasons too. It goes deep. For example, male energies, it's basically an ego trip type of thing. Most guys don't really care. Oh, some that have like a massive feminine energy just the ego. It's just for some males it's just like my truck is bigger than yours or whatever, my power tools are better and stuff like that. It just goes on, goes nowhere really. It's mindless. But it's pointless, has no, I mean, it might have a point, maybe not. Usually no, it can lead to something better, maybe. But your world here, yeah, has all these different wars going on a soul level. Like I say, that's why you incarnate parents that either don't like you or you don't like them, or maybe they are connected to the demonic realms. The demonic realms, it's like, yeah, the special sauce of this reality that keeps it the way it is. Of course, Mars opened up many of those realms and did not understand it like yours. And the demonic realms aren't as, they're more strong. They're actually stronger here than they are in Mars. The demonic realms are like a whole nother experience. You have your ghost realms, you have your demonic realms, you have your physical realms. Eventually, open up a nice museum and see what the demonic beings are doing. Does it need to be healed? Yes and no. It's going to be around. It's always going to be around no matter what. But those are souls that just, a lot of them think they know everything. That's just the way it is. But they're also like inner pain, like giving each other pain. Of course, some of you feel that. You go through your own tests, you put yourself through your own pain. But others really like to set themselves on fire and just, go to church on fire, go places on fire. So they call it the lower realms. So, all right, blessings.